you ever been in a church that used a big screen and they displayed the songs on the screen or maybe the text of the sermon and who knows what else? Okay. I want you to visualize the screen. Bigger than that. Because I'm going to talk this morning about fear politics. And I want you to think about politics in our country. I imagine it's similar in most countries that have an open democracy, but I know how it is here. In our country, from now until next year, we are going to hear the two major political parties tear each other apart and promise us the world to solve our problems. Imagine, if you would, a big elephant on this side, representative of one of the political parties. And what would be on this side? Okay, stop the visualization. But it is true that they will promise us the world. They've already begun. And what will it cost us to get that world? Nothing. It will be free. One of the first things that you study if you ever go to college is Psychology 101. I didn't pay attention. I took it, but I don't remember much. It was sometime later that I learned something about Psychology 101. There was a fellow named Maslow back in the 40s who came up with what he called the 5 reasons people do things. No, he didn't call it that. He had some fancy term for it. But he thought of it in terms of a pyramid. And he said there are the basic things that everybody wants in life, and that would be that which keeps him alive, his sustenance. And if we don't have all of that supplied, we don't aim for much else in life. And after we have the food and the clothing and the shelter and the basics of life, then we seek security. But if you don't have those things, security doesn't mean much. But when you get security, and you've got the basics in life, and you've got security, and a little more drive in life, then you need some social approval. And whether that's from friends or family or somewhere, you get that. And then after you get that social approval, then you seek status. You seek to be the kind of person that others want approval from. And at the top of his pyramid was success. Only after you have the basics do you strive for security, and only after you have security do you strive for social approval, and after that you seek status where you become somebody that others seek, and after that you go after success. And he sees it as a pyramid. Sometimes later it was modified, instead of being a ladder, that it's flexible, that sometimes you get to a certain level and then you have to go back down again to strengthen. But isn't that what our politicians are promising us? They're promising us the basics of life. Think back to your American history or beyond. Who said a chicken in every pot? The elephant or the donkey? Somebody said Hoover, like the vacuum cleaner? Republican or Democrat? He never said it. It was his party who said it, and they put it in their advertisements for him. He himself never said it. But it goes back to King Louis IV, I think, who said he wanted his peasants to have a chicken in their pot every Sunday. And it was that slogan that was adapted some hundreds of years later. But isn't that what we hear today? Well, we don't hear a chicken in every pot. Well, what about security? Are we promised security? Oh, yes. We don't want anybody coming in, whether they come in by airplane or they come in by boat or they come in across the river or however they come. We don't want anybody sneaking in and stealing our stuff. That's just not right. Or maybe we want security of health. Medicare for all, health care for all. Yeah. Education for all. Isn't that what they promise us? Sure. Is there anything they haven't promised us? You want to be free from discrimination, regardless of what you are, or who you are, or what you do, or what you think? You want discrimination-free life? Yes. And they promise it to us. They promise a land where there is no discrimination for any reason at all. I mean, after all, you can break the law and come into the country, and it's okay. Tax violators, any kind of criminals, freedom for all. Isn't that what they promise us? And who's going to pay for it? Don't worry about who's going to pay for it. It's free. We are being fed. All this good stuff will be ours for free, without cost, without obligation. I've been told that the only thing that's free in this life is bad advice. And that's what they're promising us. Let's look at that a little more carefully. Let's look at Maslow's 5 levels of conduct. We are worried about not having enough to eat, not having enough to wear, not having places to live, not having the basics that we need in life. But didn't Jesus promise us that our Father knows that we need this stuff?
That's right.
And security. Who are we afraid of? Did not Jesus say, don't be afraid of man? What can he do? You should fear God. Well, what about approval from others? Beware when all men speak well of you. And yet that's what we seek so often. We want the approval of this one and that one and all of those. What about becoming somebody that others look up to? Now that would be a mistake. Whoever told you that you should have people look up to you? Or what about getting to the top and saying, look what I've done? Far better to be the servant who comes when his master returns and says, your silver has done this. Not me. It was your pound that has accomplished this. Nothing new. It's stuff we've heard. It's stuff we say we believe. And yet how often do we get distracted by the necessities of life, or by our security, or by social opinion, or about our desires to have other people approve of us, or about our seeking the things of this world?